Hello, beautiful, and welcome to the Moms Talk Sex podcast, a judgment-free zone. I'm your host, Maury Elvington of Morph, Transform Your Reality, where I help you step out of trauma and reclaim your power. Today, I wanted to talk about what do we do if we experience in the past hurt from sexual relationships or from our partner? So many of the women that I work with and come to me for different kinds of symptoms, right? Like insomnia, body pain, low libido, anxiety, depression. And one of the main reasons that these symptoms show up in their life is because they've experienced some kind of sexual trauma. So when I talk about sexual trauma, I don't necessarily just talk about rape. I think a lot of us, especially as, teenagers and young adults, experienced array of different kind of sexual acts and sexual misconduct and probably some sort of sexual harassment. So many times we aren't really taught about sex and how to have sex and how to feel pleasure in our body. And if we ended up with somebody that, has the same you know, ideas and also the misknowledge and doesn't have the capacity to be sensitive or understanding, we can definitely be left hurt, feeling neglected, feeling abandoned, feeling like we're not pure anymore, quote unquote. I don't believe there's such a term as pure. This is another subject for a different topic. But overall, we end up carrying this, I want to call it like a womb. We carry it with us, this hurt feeling. And this comes with us to whatever relationship we start new unless we heal it and fix it. And there's a lot of times where we get betrayed and we carry that on with us as well. And a lot of times we don't know how to clear that from our body. We don't know how to heal it and we bring it into a new relationship. And then we end up getting hurt again because this is what our body knows now, right? Our body knows, okay, sexual relationship, it hurts, it's not fun, it's not pleasurable. If you didn't get to experience pleasure in your first or second time or with a partner that really cared and took the time to make sure that you had an orgasm, that you had pleasure in your body, then a lot of times you don't even know that is possible. I was amazed at how many women have never even experienced orgasms or didn't know that existed and thought, they just laid there and let their partner or husband do whatever they do until they come. Well, they fake it. So I'm inviting you to be kind of honest with yourself. Like, have you ever faken it? Have you ever had an experience like this that left you literally feeling depleted and empty inside? I even had a girlfriend that was telling me that she was having intercourse and the guy, and they were doing doggy style. And the guy supposedly accidentally, you know, went into anal sex and she was not prepared and it felt her very violated. And even though on his end it was an accident, that is something that she carries with her still today. And therefore she will never try it again. Right? So many of these situations can leave us powerless, can leave us in a place that's disconnected from our body, can leave us in a place that we don't really know how to reconnect. And so if you are experiencing anything like this, if you have experienced anything like this, number one, I would love to hear from you. I would love to know, you know, have you ever experienced an orgasm? How do you feel about sexual relationship? What have you taught? What were you taught about it? Do you even know how to pleasure yourself alone? Have you ever felt pleasure in your body? These are all questions I would start to ask because this is the way I see it. We are these amazing sexual beings, and being connected to our sexuality is our greatest power. And I truly believe that because it's our greatest power, a woman and her feminine energy and her sexualness connected to her true essence, she is a force that no one can reckon with. When you are in your power, no one can hurt you, no one can take you down, and you're uncontrollable. And in this reality, a lot of men are afraid that they can't control their women. And so they tend to use force and take away our virtue and take away and hurt the very sacred place of ours. And not only men, also women. And so if you've experienced this, if you've felt violated in any way, and ever since then have been feeling disconnected from your body, disconnected from your power, I want to tell you that one, you're not alone. You know, we know that 1 out of 3 women experience this. And just because you feel alone doesn't mean you are, but it could feel very lonely. It could feel very lonely. It could feel very disempowering. It could feel very isolating. And there's a lot of shame. In this reality, we're taught not to talk about sex and sexual relationships, and we can't be sexy. We have to hide our sexiness. Yet we need to bring children into the world. There's a lot of mixed messaging around sex and sexual relationships and having sex. And so a big part of me doing this podcast is really to bring awareness to these places of darkness, bring awareness to the places that women have been shamed and shunned for millions of years, and stop the shaming. Stop the shaming and start reclaiming you. So I just want you to know that you are powerful and you are amazing. And whatever it is that you went through, maybe as a kid, maybe as a teenager, maybe as a young adult, maybe even now in your relationship with your partner. If you are not happy, if you are faking orgasms, if you aren't enjoying and receiving pleasure from your body, you are missing your biggest capacity. The orgasmic energy is the strongest energy and force that you can play with, and it will create and bring you so much joy into your life. I've created a whole free class about stepping out of your trauma and reclaiming your power. You can find the link in my bios, and please reach out if you want more information on how to step out of your sexual trauma, heal your powerhouse, and reclaim your power. I adore you, and I will talk to you next week.